the CEO saw the cleaner's bruises. And his reaction left everyone in shock. No one noticed the cleaner at first. Not the executives rushing to meetings, not the assistants glued to their phones, not even the security guards who saw her every morning. But that day, something small and silent stopped one man in his tracks. A pair of bruises, half hidden beneath rolled-up sleeves, told a story no one else had bothered to see. What happened next would ripple through the entire building, change one life forever, and remind everyone watching that kindness, real kindness, often begins with simply paying attention. Before we begin, if you enjoy emotional stories that restore faith in humanity, take a moment to subscribe, like this video, and share your thoughts in the comments. You're watching Kindness Story Hub, where small acts of kindness create powerful change. The building was one of the tallest in downtown Chicago. Glass walls, polished floors, and offices that looked more like luxury hotels than workplaces. At the very top floor sat the CEO, Daniel Harper, a man known for his sharp mind and strict discipline. People said he was intimidating, distant, and married to his work. Every morning at exactly 7:15 a.m., Daniel arrived at the office. Same time. Same elevator. Same black coffee in his right hand. Routine was his comfort, and every morning, at almost the same time, Maria arrived too. Maria was a cleaner in her late 30s. She wore a simple blue uniform, her dark hair tied back in a neat bun. She worked quietly, efficiently, and invisibly. Most employees didn't know her name. To them, she was just the cleaning lady. Maria cleaned the executive floors early so no one would complain about noise or interruptions. She wiped fingerprints off glass walls, emptied trash bins filled with shredded documents, and polished floors that expensive shoes would soon scuff again. That morning, as Daniel stepped out of the elevator on the executive floor, he noticed Maria struggling to push her cleaning cart around a corner. One wheel was stuck. "Excuse me," he said automatically, stepping aside. Maria looked up, startled. "Oh, sorry, sir," she said softly, pulling the cart back. Daniel nodded and walked past her. But something made him slow down. He wasn't sure why. Maybe it was the way she winced as she adjusted her grip. Or how her sleeve slid up her arm for just a second. That's when he saw it, dark bruises on her forearm. Not fresh, but not old either. Yellow fading into purple. The kind that don't come from accidents at work. Daniel stopped. Maria noticed his gaze and immediately pulled her sleeve down. Her shoulders tensed, like someone bracing for trouble. "I'm sorry," she said quickly. "I'll be done soon." Daniel felt an unfamiliar tightness in his chest. For years, he'd trained himself not to get involved. Problems slowed productivity. Emotions clouded judgment, but this wasn't a report or a spreadsheet. This was a human being standing in front of him. "Are you okay?" he asked. Maria froze. No one had ever asked her that in this building. "Yes, sir," she replied too quickly. "I'm fine." Daniel studied her face. Tired eyes. Forced calm. The kind of expression people wear when they're used to pretending. "Those bruises," he said gently. "They don't look like nothing." Maria swallowed. I need to get back to work." She tried to push the cart again, but Daniel placed a hand on it, not forcefully, just enough to stop it. "Take the morning off," he said. "With pay." Her eyes widened. "Sir, I can't." "You can," he said firmly. "And I'd like you to visit HR before you leave." Fear flashed across her face. "Am I in trouble?" "No," Daniel said quickly. "You're not." Word spread fast. By noon, everyone in the building was whispering. The CEO had stopped a cleaner. The CEO had noticed bruises. The CEO had personally escorted her to HR. Some employees rolled their eyes. Others were curious. A few were uneasy. Maria sat in the HR office, hands trembling in her lap. She expected questions about her work. Maybe even a warning. Instead, HR asked her if she felt safe at home. The question broke something open. Tears slid down Maria's cheeks as years of silence poured out. She spoke about a partner who had once been kind, then controlling, then cruel. About nights spent afraid. About hiding marks with long sleeves and makeup. About needing the job because she had a young son and nowhere else to go. HR listened. And for the first time in a long time, Maria wasn't interrupted or dismissed. When Daniel returned later that afternoon, he asked for an update. "She needs help," HR said. "Real help." Daniel nodded. Then we'll help. What he did next left everyone in shock. Daniel announced an immediate company-wide policy update. Not in a press release. Not quietly. At an all-staff meeting, he stood in front of hundreds of employees and spoke plainly. This company will not turn a blind eye to suffering, he said. Not inside these walls, and not outside them either. He introduced new paid leave for employees facing personal crises. He partnered with local support organizations. He created a confidential assistance program for anyone experiencing harm at home, and then he did something no one expected. He shared Maria's story, not her name, not her details, but her truth. He reminded everyone that pain doesn't wear job titles. That kindness doesn't require permission. Some employees wiped away tears. Others sat in stunned silence. Maria was given time off, full pay, and resources to find a safe place to stay. The company helped her relocate. Her son transferred schools. For the first time in years, she slept without fear. A week's passed. When Maria returned to work, she didn't push the cart anymore. She now worked at the front desk. Daniel had noticed something else about her that day, the way she spoke, the way she listened. He encouraged her to apply for a different role. She doubted herself, but he insisted. You deserve more than survival, he told her. You deserve a future. On her first day at the front desk, Maria wore a simple blazer. Her hair was still tied back, but her posture was different. Straighter. Stronger. Employees greeted her by name now. Months later, Daniel passed through the lobby and saw Maria laughing with a coworker. No long sleeves. No bruises. She caught his eye and smiled. Not a polite smile. A real one. Thank you, she said quietly. Daniel nodded. Thank you for trusting us. That evening, as he left the building, Daniel reflected on how close he'd come to missing it all. One glance. One moment of attention. One choice to care. Kindness hadn't cost him anything, but it had changed everything, and that's the truth we often forget. You don't have to be loud to be kind. You don't have to be powerful to make a difference. Sometimes, all it takes is seeing what others ignore and choosing not to walk away. If this story touched you, let it remind you that kindness is never small. Somewhere, someone is waiting for it. And you might be the only one who notices. So go out today with open eyes and an open heart. Because you never know whose life could change simply because you chose to care.